Hello, everyone. This is Monsef Afper, and thank you so much for joining us in this new call of Your Divine Uniqueness. So thank you again for your presence here today, whether live or on the replay. And also happy that Donna Hill is back on the show. I think many of you already know her and know how powerful her message is and how inspiring it is. Like from the calls we had with her here, and also from my personal experience with her. I had several one-on-one sessions with her, and um, first, I really love the space that she holds. It feels very safe, very loving, and caring, and also how she can help to connect to your gift, to bring that forward, and um, to make the process, because many times, like the process of sharing our own gifts and connecting to them can be um, maybe a bit we don't have enough clarity about that, and also the way to express it can be challenging at some point. And it can be very, very helpful to have someone who can guide us through that and bring more clarity, and also offer healing that can support us in that journey. And and for those of you who are new to her, she is a soul reader, angelic channel, light and sound healer, and divine wisdom code activator. And today's call is about is the name is From Scarcity to Prosperity, a heart-centered approach to embracing inner wealth. And she will be discussing that. She will be sharing about her approach to abundance, and also having how to say, having more freedom to flow, and also to enhance our money flow and create with more ease and more grace in our life. And also how can we restructure our money blueprints and align with our soulful prosperity. So it will be really, really powerful call. So very excited about it. And so Donna, welcome back to the show. Happy to have you with us today.
Well, thank you, Monsef. Always an honor to be present with you.
Wonderful. So, would you like maybe just briefly in a little bit to share maybe about your work and also any updates about that with our audience?
Sure.
Thank you.
So, so I grew up in a fairly traumatic family, um, and so I lost a lot of who I was. But what stayed present within me was this. It's like a reference point. So this feeling of connection to. Now, I wasn't really sure what that was, but it was very, I felt it very strongly in the body. Um, so, and it came through nature. So the rustle of the leaves in the wind, right? The greenness of the grass, these kinds of things. When I really came into this body, into this life, those were the things that impressed on me the most. So I became, as soon as I left home, as soon as I left all the uproar, then my spirituality started to open up. So I became aware of things and new things that I had no reference points for in this life. So I understood that beliefs created reality. And I lived in a fairly affluent city with a lot of opportunity. And I realized I was in and out of the workforce as a young gal. I realized that anytime I decided it was time to go back to work, a job would appear. So that was an interesting insight. I also became aware of the power of dreams and their ability to instruct. And I also had one dream which was very poignant was, I moved forward in time and got some information. So it was more of a psychic dream, which was later confirmed on the in my outer life. So I went into therapy as a young woman because I was very unhappy. I was in university. I thought psychology would provide some answers. It didn't. But I found some folks that were soul family, and I trained with them as well. So they were in private practice. So because usually when you work with psychologists, if they're part of an institution, the rule is, we don't train our clients. But they trained me knowing that I would, I was going on to work with people, and, supported me in that. Let's see. And then I did some other training. I had a premature Kundalini awakening when I was a young woman, about 28. So it wasn't in a sexual context, just that I was in a fairly intensive workshop environment. We were moving a lot of energy around, making a lot of shifts. And so the Kundalini came up prematurely for me, and it made my life hell. And so for 10 years, because I didn't know what was going on, there was so much heat in the body, and all your stuff comes up. So I was literally I was a raw nerve for about 10 years. And during that time, I also had to work and, keep a roof over my head. So it was a pretty challenging time. So there was a lot of motivation for me to find some tools to help me. So I did some NLP training. And then after about 10 years, that, the Kundalini, it's sort of that force, it burns off, so much of your stuff. And then after 10 years, things sort of quieted down, and I was able to move forward in my life. So in terms of my training, so I've had a lot of fun along the way. I did some NLP training. I played with crystals. We did a lot of cleanses and nutritional kinds of things. I started in the 90s. So for folks who are having a lot of anxiety, sometimes a cleanse will clear a lot of that up, because the body is responding to the toxins. The emotions are responding to the toxins. Let's see, what else? What else can I say? I had an affinity for so many things. What was significant for me was, this is about 2 years ago now. So trauma was reoccurring in my life, and I went through a period, this is a couple of years ago, of freeze. So it's fight, flight, freeze. And I went into freeze mode and couldn't function. And during that time, I actually saw a Pleiadian ship. They told me they were Pleiadians. I've been playing with them, and being in tune with them, communicating with them for a number of years, was really, was really interested in that, but really wanted to see the ships. And it was during that time that, I was in this dark depression, this difficult place. And I went out, this was in January. I like to tell this story because I went out to clear my head. It was about minus 40 below, and there was a bitter wind chill. So I didn't want to spend too much time outside, but I looked up, and here I could feel their presence. So there was a ship, sometimes they disguise in the clouds. And so I looked up, and I was, oh, it's so good to see you. It was like reconnecting with family, my brothers and sisters. It's so good to see you. I'm so happy to see you here. Just so happy, and felt this love. And I tuned in for not very long, because I wanted to get back inside. And but my depression was gone. And it was gone for about 2 weeks, because I was still working through some fairly difficult stuff at that point. It did come back, but it was at least 40% lighter. So they took the bulk of it, basically. They assisted me. And so this is, so for those of us who have guides, are connected in with their guides, they will take our karma. They will take the heavy load for us, and assist us in working through it as well. Right. So when they came to me, this is about a year ago now, and said, start a new modality, we'll call it divine sequencing, I was like, all right, I'll do it. Right. So, because at this point I trust them intrinsically too. So, and over the years, I also work with archangels and ascended masters, and people can read my bio on your site there if they wish to know more. But my life has been deeply enriched in the process of this learning and exploration of my shadow aspects. So, and So when I come to learn that abundance is really, it's about our vibrational frequency, and everything that we came here to do, everything that we require for our soul journey is already in our field. It's part of our soul codes. And so all we have to do is allow. So abundance and money is about allowing more than, creating. Of course, we're going to create, but we're basically, instead, we're moving into this place of where it's already there. And sometimes we need to clear stuff out to get to that place. So, so that's one thing that's a lead in. So we invite you all into sacred space, and we invite all those who love us and support us and want to teach us and want to learn from us to be present with us here in this place as we play with money and abundance, these ideas. And the other thing that's an inquiry, I'll just tell you this quickly, Monsef and everyone.
Yeah.
So I'm a divine wisdom code activator, and I'm a channel. So when this came through, I was like, okay, what does that mean, right? So when we, as spiritual beings, we travel into the other worlds when we are sleeping, and we can travel to temples. And if you have dreams of being in a classroom, we actually go to class on the inner. I've had dreams of being in universities or being in school. We're being taught on the inner, in our inner travels as we soul travel to different places. And so I spent a lot of time in the wisdom temples to work with the beings there and to mostly learn, but sometimes teach. And one of the temples is on Venus. So that, okay, so this is coming up. Some people have reference points for this. So we just want to breathe deeply, just one deep breath. There we go. This acknowledgement that as soul, we have reference points, experiences in other realms. There we go. That's better. So people are settling into the codes that are coming in through for there. And also, and it's activated mostly through the sound of my voice and through your guides and healing team that are supporting you. So that's what that means. And also people, they asked me to mention this as well. So there are sacred places on the planet as well. So we think of Haleakala in Hawaii, which is, this is Lemurian mostly. So it's considered the heart chakra of the planet. So the Lemurian culture was very, very heart centered. And we can tune in contemplation to the, okay, there we go. Some people are connecting into that as well. Beautiful. That's beautiful energies. And then some of the other ones we'll just mention quickly. So Lake Louise, Canada. So I lived in Calgary, which was about an hour and a half from Lake Louise. And Archangel Michael pretty much summoned me there. And that's his story. I won't get into, I don't want to talk too long about this, but I didn't even know there was an Archangel Michael until I moved to Calgary. And then I told Spirit, you have to tell me why I'm here. And I learned that Archangel Michael's physical home is in Lake Louise. Okay, so we want to breathe. So that's coming up as a bit of an emotion for me. It's still a very touching story, 30 years later, as I moved in 1990 to Calgary. Okay, cool. All right, thank you. And then we'll mention just briefly. So Ayers Rock is an hour. These are ley lines that converge. So Ayers Rock in Australia. There's another PowerPoint. Ooh, yeah. So people from Australia tuning in. Lake Titicaca. So we'll mention that I don't have so much affinity with this one. And then we'll talk about the pyramids because there's pyramids in the other dimensions as well. We can go and hang out there. Thoth comes up. Often Thoth is the, especially around the Egyptian times, he was one of the very powerful masters at that time. So how cool to have Thoth show up for us with us today. Yeah. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Donna. And first for sharing about your experience and also because you started talking about abundance and prosperity, and many times like we only understand it like it's or we relate it to finances only, but the way you approach that it incorporates finances, but it's more holistic and it affects every aspect of our life. And also from my perspective, because many times we use like finances as a way of feeling safe instead of a way to like to create things. So I would love if you can tell us more about how do you see that manifesting, like from your own perspective, like how abundance can be manifested and also experience, like how can we experience more prosperity in our life?
Okay, sure. So I made a few notes as well. So because the information comes through, um, what to bring forth for the group. So the aim, the purpose of divine sequencing, which is attuning you into the Christ consciousness and activating your own soul codes. And so all that is meant for you is here. And we'll say that again. So we're going to activate that for each and every one of you here. So I wrote this, we work to energetically imprint the energy of your soul into your physical incarnations. So you become the conscious overseer of your life path. What does that mean? So soul needs to, basically we need to solve the problem of the little self taking over and overthinking things or bringing up a program that's going to stand in our way. And what we find is when we attune to the higher frequencies, that the little self goes, oh, I like that better. Yummy. And the body will go, oh, yeah, that feels much better. I'm going for that, right? So it becomes a movement into this space of more freedom. It's like being invited into a larger room, right? It's more light filled. So I come from this place of the goal is spiritual freedom. And what is that? It's the ability to create what we want and when we want it, right? And to course correct along the way, of course, because we all have to manage our lower bodies. So absolute freedom and absolute responsibility, right? So in these times, the energies, the manifestation times are very short. Like I've had things happen in 2 or 3 minutes, very fast. Send out a thought, manifest in the physical. So if we happen to fall into power over in some way, that's going to come back around very quickly as well. We're also, because we're moving into the higher frequencies, as we attune to them, we have more awareness, more conscious awareness of what our patterning is. So for me, it will be, oh, that doesn't feel right. That will be my first indicator. But for people, they maybe see something that doesn't look right, or hear something that doesn't sound right. Like it depends on how you encode the information coming in. So that the goal, the focus is to be in this flow, and then we can create money and it feels good. It's not a struggle and we can receive it. So the trick to money is to allow. The trick to, having, more harmonious relationships is to allow that into our lives at a spiritual level. So, and then we work with the lower body energies, the beliefs, the limiting beliefs, the emotions. We see them as energy blockages in the field. Basically, they'll show up in different ways. Right. So let's see. So, and then I wrote some things. So more success means more stress. So it's important to manage your stress. That was a little tidbit I got from folks. And define your own success. Don't let other people define. So we come from a very, like, especially in North America, it's very much about you're successful if you have a fancy car and a nice big house. And, and that it's pretty superficial. And for people, once you reach a certain level of money, people are no longer fulfilled. Like once all your needs are met and all your toys are, even if you wanted all these toys and you got them all, there doesn't come any more satisfaction from that, even though you may exceed that and make a lot more money. Right? So we know that. So the key then is to come to this place of I'm okay within me, or come into this place of strength, this understanding of who I am as a spiritual being, and all the other things then can fall into place. Okay, so we're going to continue to work with people's fields a little bit here. So what we're coming through as well, there's a color frequency usually that comes through. So when this is kind of a peachy color, so we're actually working with people's, first and second chakras. So more the earthy colors as well. So we're bringing people into this, there we go, better present now moment, right? We're activating you to the truth of who you are as soul. Right. So it's a process of remembering. So, and then I wrote down I'll just do this very quickly, and then hopefully I'll have answered your question, Monsef. So
Yeah.
Dr. Joe Dispenza said, when you intentionally make the expression of love a part of your daily practice, that is a feeling, receiving, and giving love, not only do you boost your immune system, but you begin to understand that the more you feel love, the more you become love. And when you become the embodiment of love, you can change the world, right? And so first we want to change ourselves so that we have all that we need, right? So if you want an abundance of better health, this is the way to do it. It's very heart-centered, right? When we become the love, Dr. Bruce Lipton had said the best thing for your immune system is to fall in love. Right? So, but we can fall in love with the puppy, right? It's not necessarily that, a romantic partner is going to come along, right? Yes, we can fall in love. We have the capacity as humans, as soul, this remarkable ability to love. And then the Buddha said, change is never painful, only resistance to pain. To change is painful. So again, we're tuning back to what's the natural flow and frequency of you as soul, and then we clear out all the other stuff and I have significant tools in that area because I've had to do so much work on myself to get this to this place of abundance and flow. And I'm not always there. We come in and out of flow. That's normal for everybody. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it does, absolutely. And I love that you mentioned that, like, creating from a space of love, because how to say it really makes the experience much more easier, and also we can feel fulfilled because when we create from a place of scarcity, of lack, or fear, it seems like even though we receive what we want, it's not fulfilling at some point. And
Yes.
so my question is, in those times when we feel maybe we have fear, or it feels like really dense, and we just want to get out of the situations that feels challenging, and it seems like to the mind that it's difficult to stay in love. So how can we approach those situations?
So let me speak some light language into that.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah, and then we'll see what comes through around that. So everyone focus into our heart. That's the key, is to breathe in and out of the heart. So we drop into our heart space. Kogaye laratu on kokushe fifikishi de dutuishi umbukuku olareteje shokoko shanaratu shanariku shanarigige alareteje hanaretuje kuku fifikakusho. Okay, so there's a number of ways. So my favorite is prayer. So and because I have, a lot of guides over the years, so but your prayers are always heard, even if you don't feel this connection to, say, Archangel Michael or, the Pleiadians, or you always have guidance. So what is the best? And asking questions, a lot of times the mind, so from the lower frequencies, the mind is we call it, this came from Max Maltz, a goal-seeking servo mechanism. So the mind's job is to bring up patterns. The mind's job is to bring up programs, basically. That's all the mind is. And so when we ask of the mind, so what is needed, right? So we ask some basic questions. What is going on here? And may I have some clarity? May I have some clarity about what's going on? Or we can go, is this mine or someone else's? Because a lot of times, so much of what we carry has to do with generational stuff, has to do with the people we're hanging out with that maybe have holding on to this kind of thing. So much of this, and they've even found as well that like our neighbors have an influence on, you know, our money flows. If we live, you know, if our neighbors don't have much money, and there isn't any way to know this, particularly if you live in a condo, right, like I did in Calgary. It was a population dense area. Our neighbors' thoughts and feelings and beliefs about money are part of our field, because our fields can go out, I mean, indefinitely, right? So this is also, we want to bring our energy back into, you know, I am here, I am now, I am. And we ask that anything that isn't mine is cleared out right now, right? Because we can't solve that problem if it's not ours to solve. That's the first place I would go with that. And we'll clear everybody's fields that's on the call listening now or later. And especially to let go of all those things that are finished. Right? So the money problems for me were finished. The mind still wanted to hold on to them, right? And so this was an interesting experience, because I went into all this dark stuff of, oh my God, I can't do it. It's too hard. Wah, wah, wah. You know, I was doing this in prayer and contemplation. I finally let it go. And what came back to me was, yeah, you have to figure that out. It's like it came right back on me. Oh, I have to clear it. I have to agree and align to clear it, right? And when I did that, and this is part of mind wanting to still operate from that old space, it was to let that go. So we need to learn to let that go, letting go and being in the flow then. So we move into more flow. So I hope that answers your question. There's some ideas there for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Donna. And
You're welcome.
yeah. Also, just want to remind our audience that you also can ask your questions. If you have anyone, you can type it on the chat boxes on Zoom and also YouTube. And also you can raise your hand by pressing reactions, then raise hand. And also when creating something, and because many times we were used the way we grew up and the way we see society, how it works. When we want to create something, we think that we need to have maybe certain amounts of money or a lot of money to create that. And then we, how to say, we may drop that idea or maybe wait on it until we receive money. But also at the same time, we see people that they don't have money, but are still able to create, and they find ways to create what they want. So I think it's maybe it's a little bit, it described like what you called as having more flow and create freely what we want and when we want. So I would love if you can tell us your opinion about that, and if and how do you see that creation process?
Mm. So we expand from our heart out into a field of unlimited possibility. I guess that's the easiest way to say this. So moving into that space of more, or we can move forward in a timeline. This is more more physical oriented. So we go into this place of where I already have what I want. What does it feel like? What does it look like? What does it sound like? And hold that as truth. So I allow this to be true, even though I don't feel it in all parts of who I am. So we're tuning people to this. I still am willing to play in this field of possibility I'm still open to more experiences and understanding. Please guide me and show me and assist me. And especially Archangel Michael, help me to move these blockages out of my way. Right? So much of what we can create doesn't have to do with money. We just happen to live in a society where everything is very expensive because it's a we would call it, we call it a contraction process. The more you are involved in this idea of scarcity and lack, the more your life will contract. So when we move into our hearts and into infinite possibility, the more our lives will expand. So it's a movement from one set of awarenesses to another. It doesn't mean that, the difficulties around money necessarily go away, or the difficulties in that relationship, or, health, or whatever you want more abundance, more flow in, doesn't go away. It means that we're observing it from another perspective, that we're allowing another set of possibilities to come up. And we don't know what they are, but they are divinely orchestrated through our soul, through who we are as soul. Right? So these meaningful coincidences, these meaningful synchronicities that show up in our lives are things to guide us on our way. And they teach us in ways that are right for us. When a friend of mine shared a dream with me, and I said, what does that mean? Because for him, it's important that he understands the meaning and the message in that dream, the symbology and the metaphor, right? The richness of that, so that he can have a movement. So a movement could be an insight and understanding and awareness, right? He'd move to a different place in his consciousness. So something like that. So, and then I wanted to share this because this is very sweet. This is an Albert Einstein quote. We are slowed down sound and light waves, a walking bundle of frequencies tuned into the music of the cosmos. We are the souls dressed up in sacred biochemical garments, and our bodies are the instruments through which our souls play their music. Isn't that beautiful? Oof. Yeah. So to attune more into that space of, we can just say, well, I'm willing to be more abundant. It's very simple. It doesn't have to be all these lofty ideas. So I'm willing to be, and what brings me joy? What do I love to do? Do the things you love every day. It tunes you back into this heart space. Remember those things that you loved in the past. Tunes you into that place again, right? So the key to all of it is what brings you joy. That was my motto for probably 30 years now. And nobody bought it. It was like, boy, are you weird. Right? That's no, I'm just having fun, right? This is what brings me joy, right? And it doesn't have to be big things. I laugh every day. I listen to some music every day. Those are the things that I really, really enjoy. What helps lighten things up? Go to that place, because then we move into this place of expansion, because our beings want to move into that place. They'll use every opportunity to do that. Our bodies will attune to higher frequency always, right? We don't know how that's going to affect. We just know that it's going to start, feeling better. To start feeling better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Cool.
That was very beautiful. Yeah, thank you so much, Donna. And Andrea shares who wrote that quote about the souls? Beautiful.
Who wrote this?
I
The
think it
quote
was
about,
Albert Einstein or the one before that.
oh, we are slowed down sound and light waves. Yeah, that's Albert Einstein.
Mm. Yeah. And yeah, she said, thank you. A question from Vivian. I resonate with Lemuria, Australia,
Nice.
and Pleiadians. My challenge is to be interconnected financially with my husband, Lars, who wants a divorce. Love him, taking care of myself, and let him go and be. Please help me with divine assistance to stay heart focused, yet having the courage to change. Now I long for joy, having fun on a daily basis. Love,
Mm.
Vivian.
Yeah, thank you. So is she available on the call? Can she speak to us? Would she feel comfortable with that? It's always
Yeah,
easier if we can speak directly to
yeah,
people.
yeah. Vivian, if you can unmute yourself.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Vivian.
Hi.
Thanks for joining. Yeah.
Thank you for taking me.
Okay, so as we connect in with you, so we want to clear a lot of upper chest stuff that feels quite heavy. So this is usually grief.
Yes.
So we just want to allow, we want to clear that out. We want to clear all this heaviness. So any reference points to grief and loss that we have. So this is genealogy. So we're going into your genealogy. We're going to clear that on both your mother's and your father's side. So any relationship patterning that is limiting, is affecting the outcome of your divorce. There we go. We want to move all that stuff that isn't yours out of the, there we go, out of your field. There we go, better. And take a deep breath, please.
Yes.
Yeah, so this will make it easier for you to deal with what's going on now. So we're clearing all the historical stuff. We're going to clear, so I'm going to check. So relationships can be complex. We're going to check for your soul agreements with your husband. We're going to ask the divine councils to review them. I want to be clear that these contracts are now finished and complete. Okay, so any vows that you made to love him and only him, this is coming up past life. We want to clear that. Any agreements that you made in this lifetime or in any other place, any other of the God worlds, right, through time, dimension, space, reality, to be less when I am in partnership with the other. So this will affect all flows, right? Your money flows, your relationship flows. So we want to clear that. We're clearing this for everyone. I am less when I am in partnership with the other. So it's not specific. And so, okay, there we go. Better. I want to clear upper chest. And so everyone who's listening, you're going to have an interpretation of what this means for you. Like what comes up for me is I am less if I'm in partnership with myself, which is okay, then I need to take a look at that, right? And that's also coming through my thymus and my high heart for you, right? So I have a reference point for this as well. So we allow that to clear. Okay, so we're going to sing some heart opening, singing and toning to, and also we're going to invite Mother Mary, who's the beautiful, nurturing mother, who's a sacred heart in many respects. Kucha kakui papu, lo kaki shigagure kakin tadiki, shove, shove, kushokoke. So part of what we need to do first, Vivian, is we need to break up the energy. So this is going to be repetitive things like this. Good. Safe to let go, safe to move on. So we'll ask for divine understanding of what it feels like to move into more freedom, spaciousness, to create a different life on a different timeline. And so it's safe and comfortable to do this. We allow all those things that don't allow this to fall away, to fade away. Oof, okay, wow, that was big. Vivian, how are you doing? I just got very
I'm
hot
dizzy.
with all that moving. Are you dizzy? Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to
I
ground
hold my
you.
head on my heart. Yes.
Oh, okay. So we're going to ground you. So we're grounding you and everyone. So imagine, see, sense, know, and feel your energy is moving down your legs and down your feet, deep into the earth, to that place that is the most supportive of you. There we go. Better. Ooh, yeah, that's much better. Okay, so in taking in the earth elements that you may require, so the wind or water, there we go. Grounding, so tuning into a big oak tree, a big redwood with a massive root system. There we go, yeah. Okay, so, and grounding this truth, this new way of being into your body, into your being. So your guides are always there with you, tuning you into your soul in this place. There we go. Yeah, that feels better. How you doing?
Smiling.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah. So much of where we are is we hold this place of, I certainly do this, is I kind of like where I'm at. It's familiar. I don't have to take any risks. And yet the joy is in the movement into the bigger realms. So yeah, the bigger room, right? The more abundance, the more soul frequencies that are available. Yeah, lovely. So I'm just going to activate some soul codes for you so you have more strength in your beingness, right? So there's a lot of who we are sometimes doesn't get activated because of, our physical lives. So we just want to do some activations for people just very quickly. That's lovely. Yeah, it feels really a lot better. Thank you. How are you feeling?
I thank you too. Well, I'm relaxed.
I think she just cut out.
I say I feel relaxed.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. Well, that's
Yes.
awesome. Being relaxed is a state of creation. It's one of the places we need to be to create. We can create from anxiety. Sorry, I was just getting some water here. So you'll hear some background noise. We can create from anxiety, but when we're calm, we're in a space of more creation, more openness. So that's lovely. Thank you for helping us, find that place within ourselves with your question. It's beautiful.
Thank you for your support. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thank you, Vivian. And also thank you, Donna, for the guidance.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so we have Andrea. I have done a lot of healing and asking around clearing scarcity mindset and have moved and been into the abundance mindset, not just money. However, my financial life doesn't look like how I'd like, even though I believe I'm on the right path. How do I know if I've cleared the scarcity completely, or what else specifically needs to be cleared? Thank you.
Okay. So always, because I'm more clairaudient than anything, it's always better to talk to people. If she's comfortable, she can talk with us. If not, I can still work with her energies.
Yeah, if you can, Andrea, you can unmute yourself.
Hi, Donna.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, this is interesting. So,
Okay.
so yes. So I create out of fear. So it's not so much, this is interesting because yesterday, or even as the information was coming through for this talk, I said, so who is I that just said that? That's interesting. The I that is all, that is everything, I guess. So I was guided. I was told that we need to talk a little bit about sexuality and guilt and shame. And when we look at this, so how to make it simple is when we look at this, we're looking at like, what kinds of things did I do that where I had to walk on my heart to make money? So when I think about my own experience, I worked, in I was an administrative assistant for a lot of years. I worked in an office. I did the 8 to 5, right? I working for the man, right? It was so insulting to my soul. So that was how I prostituted myself. And there's lots of ways that we do that. So So what are the complex equivalents or the reasons that we choose to stay in situations, as an example, where because of money, for money, right? So, and this is okay. So we're doing a lot of generational clearing here for you. So sex and money. So we want to clear the guilt and shame. We want to have divine insights into our expression as soul, our creativity of who we are. So sex, we're all here because of sex, right? So, and we often have the same idea about sex as we do about money, is it's dirty, right? It's evil, it's bad, right? And this is very impacted in the collective unconscious. And I really feel that you take on a lot from the collective, right? You're still pretty tuned into all the sort of hubbub in the background that's going on. So you want to clear your let's see, we're saying it's connection to the collective unconsciousness on the planet. We want to bring in the divine insights that who you are in all of your expression is a divine, really a divine birthright. It's kind of like we're all invited to the dance and we can all dance. Right? We're all invited to the dance, and how we dance is the way that we dance uniquely as soul. Right? Okay, so we're going to continue. And then we're going to clear. There's a lot of clearing off the sort of in the heart area, just off the heart complex. Okay. So you're moving and shaking. So I see you moving forward in a really big way, really big way.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to move you through this sort of stuckness that has to do with, like, so we want to clear the upper chest as well. So the part of you that just doesn't get it, right? So is that accurate? You just
Yes.
don't get it. You've done all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to check for okay, so I'm going to ask clarity for you because it's right now that information isn't coming through at all. So sometimes there's interferences. So we're going to ask for clarity for Andrea. What's going on? We need clarity before we can solve the problem. Right. So I'm feeling a bit dizzy. So it feels like there's some influences here that aren't yours and we need to clear them. Right. So it's in the head, feeling a bit dizzy, back of the head. Okay, so when we ask you to tap your left foot, I want to bring you back into this now moment, here now.
Okay.
Here now. Okay, better. Oof, okay, yeah, so there's movement there. Right. Okay, so, and then we go, this is still in your, so you're about 5, is like, I'm not budging. Nope. So we just want to invite this little kid self. You can imagine being with your little kid there, wherever that is, and just say, I invite you over here to play. Let's go play over here. This could be fun. Oh, see, little kids, you tell them it's going to be fun, they're interested right away. There we go. Okay, so that's moving. There we go. Better. So what brings me joy that would bring in more abundance, more money flows. Yeah. And then there's the collective unconsciousness of the scarcity and the debt, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very, we all buy into that because we have to play in that field to some extent, right? So we'll see if we can disengage you from that. It's coming through adrenals. So we need either to strengthen you despite it or have you rise above it. So those are your two options. Right?
Okay.
All right. So, and then we're going to work with your lower back, right in the tailbone area. So we want you to be stable. Okay. So, and what they're saying is, like, all the decisions and all the things going on in your life, they're not wrong, right? They're expressions. So, so there's area. So it comes up is to change direction. So it comes up attitude, energy, direction, and then it's also the reference point in your body right now is sort of pancreas over on the left side there, under the rib cage. So there's a lot going on here with this. I'd
Yeah.
invite you to do a one-on-one with me. Let's see if we could really clear some of that up.
Okay.
Because it's coming in on a lot of different levels, aside from just, you know, the mental sort of attuning into this capitalist notion of scarcity, which is really, was for some of us, very, very firmly engraved. And then is it engraved? What's the word? Embedded. And then we move into our hearts, into this bigger flow. And once you have that as a reference point and that feels solid within your body, within who you are as an identity, that's when the money starts to flow, right? Okay, so that big chunk just fell away. That's good. So these energies will continue to work with you it's going to continue to work until a lot of that really heavy sort of stuff falls away there for you. Yeah. And we'll do a group process, I think, Monsef, if it's time. And you can hold that as well as your intention to have that cleared. And that will help as well.
Well, thank you so much. This was wild. I mean, what you said rang, you know, true, especially on kind of both sides of my family when I think back. And I'm pretty empathetic, so I do feel a lot, and I do have my body does respond to stress. It does, you know, and so this all rings true, and I so appreciate you helping me and with this, even this clarity. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Andrea, and also thank you, Donna, for the guidance. And yeah, for the group process, like how long do you need? Like how long it will take approximately?
15 minutes. We'll really do some divine sequencing and really get people activated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we still have time. So do you feel maybe it's better to do it toward the end or right now?
Well, what happens, what I found is with these group processes, they're so powerful that people don't have any questions. Like everyone's kind of just wants to sit and be in the energy.
Okay.
So if people have more questions and we have time, it's preferable to do it before. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we will take a couple more questions. Just I want to take a few minutes to talk about the program we are offering, and then we move back to the questions. And I invite everyone to visit the page yourdivineuniqueness.com/Donna, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Donna, DONNA. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page, and also the link on YouTube video description. And also I put the link on the chat boxes on Zoom and YouTube. And we have 3 items, 45 minutes, one-on-one session with you, then 5 abundance recordings, and 1 divine sequencing recording. So Donna, I would love if you can tell us about that.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
I'll talk about the recordings. People can see, you know, what the offering is here. A big part of, especially money flows and lack, and sort of a poverty consciousness, has to do with the genealogy, and so we do this recording especially really gets in there and clears that up. And if you listen more, it will continue to clear more and more of that ancestral patterning that we just carry that really doesn't have anything to do with us, right? It's just passed down through the generations. And as this is cleared up, then our DNA, of course, is upgraded, and, you know, new neural pathways open up in the brain, and we start to feel better. You know, as we take away this heavy energy, you start to feel better. We start to have more of a sense of who we are as well, because that's sort of the default. And especially in these energies, it's attuning you back to your soul frequencies. as well. So we're also bringing in energies. There's some activations in these recordings, all of them. There's, we do, so it depends, but we work with different body systems. We work with certain body organs as they pertain to what's coming up. We work with past lives. I think that's coming up in some of this. But it attunes, the whole idea behind this whole set is to bring all of who we are into now, right? Into this now. So we have access to all of who we are. And so this is moving some of that stuff out of the way and empowering us as soul into our physicalness, right? So we feel whole and complete in all of who we are. So your relationship with money and abundance. So this, again, this is more a creative process, but we're looking at the vows and suffering and hexes and curses. So this is a really important piece, right? So when I think about this I was very, suffering is life. So there's a very complex equivalent, right? No one would ever consciously think they had something like that operating under the surface, right? So I had to clear a lot of that. This whole sort of like addiction to suffering. So poverty, not having money. I was more, when I was more sick, if I was sick, I couldn't make money. So then I ended up in poverty. It was more like that, right? So, but what are the things that are stopping us from creating money? So, and having this direct understanding, this direct idea of money as sort of a being, right? So yeah, like, and we can envision it that way as well. So here's my buddy Money, but Money and I are going down to the store, and Money and I are creating this wonderful life in in bigger and bigger ways. So because money doesn't care who owns it. That's one of the other quotes I really liked. Money doesn't care who owns it. Right? So, and then, so soul retrievals, this is really powerful. So again, we're pulling you back into all of who you are as soul, as a divine being that you are, really. So I am now, I am here, I am. So the more we can operate in the now moment, the easier all of it is. And we pull in those lifetimes where we've already created that, where we've already had abundance and flow. See, in relationship, this doesn't have to be about money. We have amazing relationships. I'm going to pull that, remember that, re-reference that into our fields, right? Really pull that in. This is a very powerful one as well. So in all of those souls, those lifetimes, those fragments where we were in lack, we bring those in, we heal them, we bring them into these beautiful healing temples and heal them and integrate them back into your body. So there's two ways. So we're retrieving all our empowerment soul fragments. So we could have, so this is an example, we could have had a really wonderful life, but we passed away early and we left part of who we are to look after young children, right, as an example. So we don't know what they all are. We want to heal all our soul fragments so that they can again empower us. And we want to bring in all those already empowered soul fragments and bring them back into who we are, right? So heal them and physically feel them coming into our bodies, right? So clearing heart walls, this is number 4. Again, we have to learn to receive. So life and love is about giving and receiving love, right? When we come to this place of love, we want to invite in more love into our lives, and we can have those experiences of love that will bring money to us, right? So it's very honoring of the other in ourselves, right? So ultimately, when we create money, we have to be in relationship with people. So we clear those heart walls, those huge, these wounds that we've carried for however long, however many lifetimes, we actually clear those right out. Yeah, and then number 5 is gifts from your higher self. So we attune you into all of who you are. I like playing with the spiritual bank account, right? So when I envision this, I see a dragon in a big castle that is guarding all the treasure that was mined, all the gold, right? So that's a metaphor or an image that I hold, right? So I had a dragon that keeps all my riches and guards it, right? So we can tune into that energy, and we can imagine even downloading, all that abundance into our physical bank accounts as well. So there's some creativity and play in this. When people are accessing your creative gifts, so money will begin to flow, because the ideas will come of, oh, how do I make more money? And it'll be fun. So we want to bring lightness and joy into this. And then the last one is, I did the winter solstice transmission because it was so powerful. And this has been a very interesting one. I wanted everyone to have it. And so with this one especially, it's very balancing, it's very heart-centered, and we vibrate into your cells. So I really felt this physically, this energy as it came through very physically in my body. And then we do a lot of different things, like a life review, of course, as we're leaving 2023 behind, and bringing in higher vibrations. We're bringing in the vision for where we're moving to in our future with more abundance and love. And, if people are into this idea of new earth, that we are actually creating a new way of being and experiencing and interacting, we're creating more community, then it brings us into that timeline, into the flow of that. And this one especially, as with all of them, is set your intention of what you want the energies to clear. So abundance, we're all working in different areas sometimes. If you want the actual money flows to clear, you can do it with this one. But the winter solstice one is basically attuning everyone. So we're upgrading. Right? So I hope I'm not talking too much about these. There's so much to them. Mm-hmm. The idea behind the recordings is to, not buy one, but not get the package and listen once and say it didn't happen. It didn't happen for you. So we want to listen, on a regular basis, even daily. These are short recordings, but they're very powerful. So 20 minutes, you can play them in the background. The first time to listen, it's better if you sit and listen and be present. But after this, then you can just invite the energies in, and it will work with your field, right? As long as it's at least a little bit audible, that energy will come in and work with you. Right? So, okay. So, and then the one-on-one session is, again, it's much like this. We're creating a beautiful sacred space for you where you feel safe, and we support you through your process, and we look deep into your fields. And we bring in, so it depends. I actually have a pretty big toolkit of different things and ways to address what's going on. So we want to, but ultimately, at the end, we're tuning you, we're activating your soul codes that are specific for you. We clear your future timeline or timelines, and we bring in these really abundant energies, codes, frequencies into your future, into all of your futures. So you have more grace and ease as well as you move forward. And sometimes we work with the body, and sometimes we work more on the mental level or the emotional level. But always we are attuning all of who you are in the energies. So it becomes, it's highly, I would say it's highly experiential for people in how they receive it and understand it. And it's all perfect because it's, So, and I had one bit of feedback from one of the people that was listening to these recordings, and she said everything got better. Everything got better. So, because we're working with so many different elements of who we are, that, our relationships get better, our health gets better, we may sleep well, we may have more fun things happen in our lives, or, we start to enjoy our lives more. So we want to be in joy. We want to enjoy. So this is the invitation of this this package really is to get people really thriving, right? We want to thrive. So life needs to be light and happy and joyful. And it's our birthright. And the good news, it's all in our field. It's all in our soul codes. We just need to move some stuff out of the way and activate some stuff, right? And bring in those ascension keys and codes that are coming through for us. There's new information always coming in right now. These energies are so, so potent. And we are in a unique place to really move through a lot of really difficult stuff in a really, very fast. Yeah. So that's my, that's all I have to say about that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Donna. Yeah, for all the package, like the one-on-one session, which I really love the sessions with you. As I mentioned earlier, like I experienced several of them and really love the support, the safe space and the healing that you provide. And also thank you for the recordings. Like you mentioned, they can be very helpful. Yeah, so as always, thank you for for sharing your work with our audience here. So. And also everyone, yeah, but also everyone, I invite you to visit the page, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Donna, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Donna, DONNA. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page. It's also on YouTube video description and on the chat boxes on Zoom and YouTube. Kathleen on YouTube, she wrote, I love working with Donna. So glad I found her here through your massive. Oh, wonderful.
Oh,
Thank you,
nice.
Kathleen.
Thank you.
And also she has a question about what you were sharing before earlier. Does this prostitution attitude include the belief women need to get married for security?
No, it sure can, yeah.
Mhm.
I'd say that's a big one, yeah.
Yeah.
Women don't have options. But also we're looking back through the generations. So it wasn't so much, I mean, how would we say this? In other lifetimes, in other planets, in other galaxies, in other worlds, what we're doing also is we're inviting back those, like, I remember a lifetime where I was a warrior, I was empowered and I was a leader and I had a Black Panther as my pet. That is very powerful, right? So we're inviting all those ways where we're really empowered, and we're inviting as well this divine relationship, this divine balance between the masculine and feminine. Right? So we've had lifetimes where we were, in partnership with the other, either as male or as female, where it was a joyful, heart-centered, and beautiful relationship. And these are the kind, like, this is such a great question, because there is so many people in unhappy relationships, and so many people just very negative toward the opposite sex. And I've certainly had to move through a lot of that myself, and will continue to do so, I'm sure. The whole idea, though, is when we come together, it's to move into that place of connection. We're through the other. So when there's this whole, so this comes back to the sexuality piece of sex as a catalyst for spiritual growth, and to move that into the container, the sacred container of who we are as divine expression, right? So that's a whole nother area that could be a talk in and of itself. So it's really important then to clear up any of that power over stuff around sex and sexuality and sexual expression and enjoyment and pleasure as well. Like all of that, it's huge. That's a huge piece. That's as big a piece as money, really, it is. So, but there's such a powerful connection between the two. Yeah. So thank you for that question. I hope I covered that in a way you could understand that.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Donna, and also thank you, Kathleen. And a
You're welcome.
question from Rebecca. Hi, Monsef. And Donna, I feel the energies of 2024 are different and lighter. Can Donna speak about that? My way forward is not entirely clear, and I'm staying open to where I'm meant to be. But if the guides have any clues there, I'd be grateful. Thank you.
Okay. So who is this? What was her name again?
Rebecca.
Rebecca. Okay. Always easier to listen to a voice. Okay, Rebecca. So yes, 2024, very different. Even in the way that I'm, giving my talk today, Monsef, I'm sure you've noticed, very different in the delivery and even in the messages coming through. Yes, totally different. So we're tuning into new energy. So we have to give ourselves a little bit of time to attune to them. The first two weeks of January were just a really big slog for me. It always felt like I was coming back from outer space and entering into the Earth's atmosphere, and doing this burn as a rocket or whatever is coming back into the environment, right, into the gravitational field. Yeah. So it is uncertain because we don't know how much good stuff is out there for us, right? And some of our fear sometimes is that God's going to answer our prayers. It's going to be so good that, I won't have anything to focus on that's going to be dramatic, right? It's right. It's, oh, where's the drama for me to interact with? Because there's a certain amount of enjoyment with that as well, I found over the years. So let's have a drama because then I can feel alive, right? That's all this anger stuff is kind of empowering, right? And so these are the things that we're letting go of. It's like, how do I get the juicy goodness in a different way? Like, what's more fun than anger now when we let that go? What's more fun? How do we create that harmony? And there's so many people that it appears are so resistant to that, of being in harmony. They'd rather, be judgy. Right? And so when we see that, it's not necessarily the way the world is. It's those are the most vocal people, right? Those are the folks that, because love is a quiet thing. It doesn't have to be expressed loudly, right? It's just truth. Truth doesn't have to be blared from the mountaintops, right? It's more subtle. It's lighter. So we're moving into the subtler way. Even the messages coming through are subtler, right? As we go into peace more, we go into joy more. It's quieter. It's easier. That's what 24 is all about. And then it's like, oh, I think I'll go there. And you just go do it because it's just part of the flow, right? So our fields will open up. We will open up into that place. Yeah. I hope that answers the question. So yeah, I don't know what it's going to hold. I just know that it's going to be huge for all of us and really unexpected. And I think like it just feels really lovely. And it's like, oh God, this is what life's all about. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I see that for everyone that wants it. We do have to work for it. We do have to intend it. Right? We do have to hold space for that.
Yeah.
But it's there. Like now it's all there. Like this is the year for folks who really want to, have that amazing relationship where more abundance flows or more fun or move to a place or do more travel or all of those good things. It's all there for us now. And really like I can feel it. It's there. Yeah. And the winter solstice really brings that through in a big way. It's where are we moving? This is the energy. It's vibrating it into our cells, into all of who we are. Very powerful. And it will help us shift into the energies more when we listen to that one. It's at least relevant until noon, that particular portal. So yeah.
Yeah. That's
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, Rebecca.
Yeah, thank you, Rebecca. And also thank you, Donna. And I know the part when you mentioned about just flowing, like taking things maybe more easily and allowing things because it's how to say, it's just creating what we desire becomes much more easier. And also, like you mentioned earlier, we bring more fun and more joy to the process. So yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much. And do you feel it's the right time for the group process?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
It feels very
thank you.
expansive. So let's see. I really have to tune in. We're kind of all out in la la land here a little bit. So yeah, let's bring the energies down and in so we really integrate them. And yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. Okay, so we ask that everyone take a deep breath in through their nose, deep into their belly, and out through their mouth with long, slow exhales. Okay, so we're activating that. What this is a matrix under your left foot. So everyone take your second breath as you're ready. In through the nose, deep into the belly, out through the mouth. Very good. We're doing a second activation just off your heart center. So that is just above your heart, above your head, about 5 inches above the body. And so this is activating. So this one, you may feel a pulling sensation a little bit. You may feel hot or cold. So as we go more into this, okay, good. So we're clearing everyone's field. All right, so as we go more into this, your body may jerk. You may feel hot or cold. You may yawn, your stomach may gurgle. These are all things. So we're inviting more of the masters to come in and be present with us. And so we're grounding deeply into the earth. Okay, good. So we're going to activate this is an area, it's another matrix, just off the body. Again, this is between the second and third chakra. Oh, okay, there we go, better. All right, so this feels joyful. So we're bringing in some joy frequencies. These are your soul codes that are coming in through this matrix now that's active. So we're going to scan the body now. So everyone take another deep breath. All right, so we're tuning you gently into these energies because they're pretty high frequency. So we're bringing in the earth energies of those that you require. Some people will need like the actual physicalness, the feeling of, the strength of, the empowerment of the earth. And we're also going to ask for nourishment from the earth. There we go. Okay. We're going to activate your soul star, which is about, so for most folks, it's about 8 inches above the head. So this is the place where our soul agreements, what we came here to do is. Right? So we want to open that up. There we go. So not sure where we're going. This will help with that because we need to have access to what we've agreed to do so we can align more powerfully with that. There we go. We want to bring that energies down into and activate your crown, the third eye. We'll activate the pineal and pituitary. We want to balance them. Everyone take a deep breath. So these are subtle energies. They're very powerful. Okay, so we clear the back of the neck. So we're going to scan interdimensionally. We're going to clear any type of interference, frequency, vibration implants, technologies, any kind of weird stuff that's interfering. There we go, better. All right, and then we're going to move. We're going to work with the tailbone area there. So this is bringing stability into the body. So the more we bring these energies and reference them into the body, the easier it will be. Okay, better. There we go. Okay. And we will bring in the divine masculine and divine feminine balance. So we tend to move from one to the other. It's not, it's more of a flow. But we want each and every one of you to have access to all of your soul codes of your empowered divine masculine and divine feminine. So we're activating that. We're going to bring that into the body that's around the liver gallbladder area. And while we're in there, we're actually going to just assist the liver as well. So the liver holds, anger, resentment, but the liver also also holds joy, right? So this is from Chinese medicine. So we're going to work with liver. So that liver can be in joy. There we go. Better. Okay, and balance the liver and gallbladder in their masculine and feminine elements so they are communicating better. There we go. So ultimately, we're balancing the yin and the yang. So we're bringing that into all of who we are. The reference point for this group is the liver and gallbladder to balance this. And then we're looking at heart and lungs as well. That would be the second balance. Divine harmony and flow. So divine's understanding of what it feels like to be in divine harmony and flow. Okay, all right. So everyone take a deep breath. Shogegi kakushue puku lore dikigi gijinediti tokugi shikukue puku lo lerete kokogeshi dikugegishi. So we come into this understanding of who we are. And it becomes very quiet in this awareness that all is well. All is here, all is now. And we are whole and complete in this place. We move this energy in and around and through all of who we are into the body, into the cells, into the molecules. We expand it out into their fields. We work with your heart chakras now. And just do some clearing. So in really clearing is, so they're saying there's specific soul codes for the heart chakra. So to love and express freely. So we're going to sing into your heart chakra to really activate it and expand it. And this isn't coming through Mother Mary this time. This is the divine feminine as she represents to each and every one of you in ways that are right for you. So, kungara kureti onma omara kuroe olere kuo okushvi ole ole okuya mereki Merky, all let it to, all let it to, all let it to. Ole, 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 mereo, mereo. So while that's coming up, allowing that to clear. Oh, cuckoo, oh, cuckoo, I should cuckoo, cuckoo, shititi. So we're asking for the soul's understanding and of all these experiences that are coming up so that we have the learnings from these experiences. So we don't need to repeat them. We become part of who we are, of our wisdom. So we bring in divine wisdom codes to assist you now. We're going another level into the heart. So if you cry, this is perfect. If you laugh, this is perfect. Whatever you experience now as we move deeper is perfect for you. Oh, let it kick oh, let it ole kakuetiti, oe, ole tu, ole ti oe, Amerikuvichu, melody, ole ti, ole ti oe, Ameriku. Mercury. Oh, oh. I invite unconditional love into my being. Okay, so expanding your heart, opening your heart more and more, expanding your heart out so it's the size of the room you're in. Lete kukue, oe, oe. So expanding your heart even more. Puja kakoi, le da te te, hey, hey, Marakue, Maraku, ole da de, yeah. And take a deep breath. So we're tuning you back into the earth and allowing this to integrate now. Another deep breath. So bringing in fun and excitement and curiosity and play. We want to also work with the base chakra. So we do a nice clearing, nice balancing. We'll bring in the divine soul blueprint for your optimal functioning of your base chakra. There we go. So balance to harmony and flow. There we go. So when we're asking that all the lessons that we learned in relationship and in survival, that they also be learned. We have access to them. We allow all of those lessons to instruct us, become part of who we are. There we go. And then we're going to just put two little matrices above the second chakra there as well. So this is on either side of your belly button. They're not very big. They're about an inch on either side. There we go. Just want to open that up a bit more. And then we want to connect your base chakra to your heart chakra. There we go. So all that creative energy is moving up into the heart. There we go. So our sexual energy is our creative energy. It's part of who we are. We're going to move that into our heart so that our heart love, our heart wisdom, our heart guidance will instruct us There we go. More and more, going deeper into the heart. Bringing that beautiful energy into the heart. We're also, this is a little unusual, it'll take about a couple minutes. We want to strengthen and open the heart chakra and the base chakra. So this needs to be cleared, balanced, harmonized. And they're saying protected. So we're going to bring in some 9D protection energies. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's much better. So there's a stronger link between the base chakra and the heart chakra. And then we'd ask that in divine right timing with grace and ease, that you have connection with all your chakras. So all 144,000 of them, however they are, and bring in that Christed energies into all. And then, so becoming more and more aware of the sound of my voice, this process will continue until complete. Aware of your breath at the tip of your nose, wiggling your fingers and your toes, coming back into your awareness, aware of your surroundings, right here, right now. Feeling good, feeling balanced. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so got a nice little bliss hit right at the end. So Mansef, how was that?
Yeah, that was beautiful. First, I really love the light language and chanting. It's very soothing, and it helps to ground and break back to the center. And yeah, the energy was really profound. It felt gentle, and at the same time, it really goes deep. So yeah, love the energy that you bring. So thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
And also, everyone, would love to hear your feedback. You can type it on the chat boxes on Zoom or YouTube. Andrea shared, thank you. And yeah, so thank you so much, Donna, for everything you shared today. It was really, really inspiring call. Really loved every part you talked about, and the process. And also thank you for the support you brought to our callers. And Rebecca, she wrote, thank you, powerful and lovely.
Aw, you're welcome.
Oh.
Yeah. That's I never know what's going to come through. So yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, you're most welcome. This was very I experienced it as beautiful as well in subtler and subtler ways. And I think that's the energy of 2024 for whoever asked that question. I think that's what this is all about. Yeah.
And Andrea, I felt that in my heart.
Nice.
And yeah, we don't have the name. It's iPhone. Very powerful and helpful. I love your work. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Kathleen, wow, thank you so much for that super abundant session. Beautiful.
You're welcome.
So yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, everyone, for the comments. And also thank you, Donna, for everything again. And yeah, so before we end, I just want to remind everyone that you can sign up for the program that Donna is offering to us, which includes 45 minutes one-on-one private session with Donna, 5 abundance recordings, and 1 divine sequencing recording. And the link again is yourdivineuniqueness.com/Donna, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Donna, DONNA. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page, also on YouTube video description, and on the chat boxes on Zoom and YouTube. And yeah, so thank you again, everyone, for the comments, for the questions, and also for the energies, for co-creating with us, because your presence really is very important, and it helps us to have these very profound sessions here on the show. So thank you for that. for both, like if you attended live or on the replay. And yeah, so I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you on the next call. Bye bye, everyone.
Thank you, Monsef.
Thank you.